Hi everybody, welcome to episode 5 of Streamer in the Spotlight. We have the amazing EmmyVogue here today. So guys, I don't know if she's got the patience of a saint or an angel, or if she's just as stubborn as a mule. But when you come and check Emmy out, you will know exactly what I'm on about, especially with the games she's been playing recently. Done absolutely incredible, taking Twitch by storm, and it's not long till everybody will hear of her. So everybody, welcome Emmy. Welcome in.
Hi.
We're going to make you the star of the show. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here, Emmy. I really appreciate
No worries.
you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me.
You. Thank you so much. So, guys, our co-host, as always, is obviously Hertog Vin, who's currently just hiding his mic because he's got a bit of a cold, bless him. And we got Pink Ninja Bunny, which is currently at a different location because she's doing a charity stream with Sarah's Crazy World. So, well done, Pink, for taking time out of the charity stream. But good luck to you guys with that. So,
Thank
guys,
you.
so this is all about EmmyVogue today. So, we're going to get to know everything about her, as we always do. So, we have already told Emmy that if any questions she doesn't want to answer, then obviously just say, I'm sorry, I can't answer that. All right. Yeah. So, guys, as always with chat, if you want to ask some questions, you want to ask Emmy anything, please let us know and ask away, and we'll get around to them if we can. So, we're going to start off. So, I believe, Vin, you started off last time for us. So, Pinky, you are starting off this time. And I know you don't have your hymn sheet, but you're very bright and you're on the ball. So, if you want to ask the first question, let's go for it.
Okay, so I'll start with something that we have in common and something that obviously people will know well about you, Emmy. Yeah. As a streamer, what made you want to start being a streamer and how did you get started?
So I wanted to start for honestly years and years, and I just kind of kept just putting it off. I was just like, oh, well, I don't have a PC at the time. At the time, I was a console gamer, like solely a console gamer. And I was like, oh, I'd have to buy a PC, I'd have to buy a camera, a mic, the light, everything that you need to start streaming. And I just put it off for years and years and years. And then it was during the pandemic, I finally got myself a gaming PC because I was stuck at home and I was bored. And I was like, what shall I do with my life, my time, the money, whatever. And I got myself a PC and then decided, right, I'm going to get a camera, going to get the mic, going to go from there. And that's how it started. But I wanted to start really about 4 or 5 years before I actually did. But the reason that I wanted to start was just because I love gaming. I love gaming. Yeah. I'm like naturally a chatty person. So I was like, well, even if I've got nobody in my chat, even if my chat is dead, I'll just be talking to myself, so it's fine.
Yeah, fair play.
You're great at talking.
I just chat to myself like all day long, naturally at home anyway, so it's no different.
I think I have to be honest, the way you interact with your chat is absolutely phenomenal. And it's literally just having a conversation with them. I think it's so good.
I don't know. I have really no idea how you do it. There's so much chat going on at the same time with yours. And then...
Yeah, I get super conscious now that the chat is busier than it's been before. I get super conscious of missing things. So especially like during a Souls game, if I'm doing a boss battle, I have to have like full focus on the game, and I'll glance over at chat and I'll try and pick up on sort of some messages and respond to those at the same time. But I always just apologize. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm not ignoring you. I promise. I physically can't read chat right now particularly well.
Yeah, but
it's fair. It's fair.
It's crazy. Your chat is crazy.
Yes, some days I'm like, I'm struggling to keep up, and I just try and keep as best I can. But I know that at times there will be messages that I unfortunately miss. So I just ask people to not sort of take that personally. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure everybody's been there, mate. I'm sure they're fine. Yeah, absolutely fine. So Bunny's unfortunately had to. We've just been informed that Bunny's had to mute because they're singing outside of her door, apparently. So that's not very nice. That's just mean. They're meant to be doing a charity stream, but that's mean. Sorry, Emmy. Apologies for that.
That's no worries.
So I'm going to actually ask the next question that Pinky would normally ask, all right? So, so far, you've obviously seen growth and stuff like that. So what so far is in terms of challenging for you? You've mentioned obviously talking to chat and you're worried about it, but what is the biggest challenge that you've encountered so far in terms of in your short time really of streaming?
I guess the biggest challenge that I think a lot of streamers have is sticking to a schedule. Like from day one, I've had a schedule and it's never changed. It's stayed the same from day one. And some evenings, because I work full time as well, so some evenings, especially on sort of a Friday, I'll log off from work that day and I'll just feel absolutely knackered if I had a busy week that week. And I'm just like, I would like nothing more than just to get into bed and do nothing all evening. But at the same time, I look at streaming like a part-time job and I think, well, I wouldn't not show up to my regular job. So I'm not going to just not show up to my streaming job. So I just have to really give myself a real push sometimes and have like some caffeine and some sugar and just sort of get in front of the camera. I think that's the biggest challenge, just actually sticking to the schedule.
Love that. Love that. Vin, you want to ask a question? You look engrossed. Yeah.
No. Sorry. Sorry, people. I'm having a huge cold, so I'm in and out. To not get dirty on camera. But what has been your best achievement for streaming till date? To this date?
I would say my best achievement is probably to this day is sort of the growth that I've had in what I think is a fairly short time. So when I started streaming, I had no idea how it was going to go. I had no idea if I'd never get any follows or if it would sort of take off quickly. I had no idea. So I kind of just winged it. And I think I'm almost a year in. It's a year, not next week, the week after that I started streaming. And I'm
already?
It's a year at the end of this month. And I'm super close to the partner numbers that I need to click apply. So I think that's sort of the biggest achievement to get to almost that point in a year.
Yeah,
I think you will be a partner by the year's up. I'm fairly confident in that.
Fingers crossed.
You've got a great following. You've got great chat interaction. I think you'll be there.
Yeah, I've got really lucky. I have some viewers that stick around despite no matter what I'm playing. If I'm playing a Souls game, a Resident Evil game, anything at all, they'll be there. So I think I've got really lucky that I have found viewers like that.
I don't think it's luck at all, mate. I genuinely don't think it's luck. I think you are very talented in what you do.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
It's definitely entertaining.
So if you become a partner, sorry.
Go on, Vin. Go on.
So if you become a partner, are you going to be full-time streamer then?
No, I don't. Not if you hit partner. I think it's a good step, like in that direction, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you can do it. Like at the moment, I'll be completely open and honest, sort of finance-wise. At the moment, what I'm earning streaming is a bump up from my regular income from my day job, but it's not enough to do it full time. I wouldn't be able to quit and do it full time and have enough to sort of pay all the bills. Unfortunately, if it got to that point, then yeah, of course. I mean, that's I think the dream for a lot of people, but I think it happens for very few people. That I'm quite realistic about that. I wouldn't just like drop my day job the moment I hit partner and be like, oh crap, I've got no money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Pinky, you want to ask a question?
Yeah. So in terms of streaming, you've mentioned a couple of different games and series that you've streamed. What is your favorite game that you've streamed, and what was your least favorite that you streamed?
Oh, do you know what? My favorite and my least favorite both come from the same franchise. So my favorite that I've streamed is Dark Souls 3. I've done all the Souls games apart from Dark Souls 2 because I've not heard good things, so I skipped that one, but we don't talk about that. But Dark Souls 3 was just so amazing from start to finish. The boss fights, like the music, the atmosphere, it was just perfection. And I just really enjoyed it from start to finish. I would play that again and again quite happily any day of the week. My least favorite was Demon Souls. So that's like the OG, that's the original Souls game that they remastered for PS5. It was for the PS5 launch, I think. I played it a couple weeks back and I was so excited because I loved all the Souls games like up to that point. But Demon Souls was just it was tedious to me. The areas in between bosses felt super long and almost like impossible to actually gain progress through. And I could just feel myself on stream for the first time ever getting mildly frustrated. And I was like, I feel like it's going to come across to my viewers. So I kind of call it quits on that game, sort of about 3 streams in.
That's still on my to-play list.
Honestly, Vin, give it a go. A lot of people love it. Loads of people in chat like, persevere, it gets better, like it's really good. But I just, in comparison to the other Souls games, it just wasn't doing it for me, which I was really gutted about because I love the rest.
Well, my problem is I'm really shit at Elden Ring, and they tell me, play Demon Souls first, and then get the hang of the Souls genre, and then continue Elden Ring, because I really suck at Elden Ring. I'm just honest.
The other way around. My first was Elden Ring, and then I got good at that, and then went backwards through the Souls games.
Yeah, but I saw you. What was it, like 3 days ago? I saw you beating the first boss in your underwear with a chicken bone.
Yeah, I'm going no armor. We got a chicken drumstick, and I'm not leveling up. So.
I got even kill him without help.
That's so good. So Emmy, on that subject, your current thing, obviously you play the Resident Evils, which are my favorite franchises, on a Sunday, and then obviously at the moment you've kind of been going through these really sweaty games, I would call them, the real frustrating games. So you've done Sekiro, haven't you? Sekiro
was just a different level of. I mean, it wasn't frustrating. I didn't get frustrated once, but there was some long boss fights. I was fighting a boss for about 2 streams, so like 8 hours in total. So Yeah, it was.
I was lurking in one of
craziness.
them. I don't know how she did it. To be fair, I would have rage quit.
It's
A
different. That second one is such a different.
You rage after 5 minutes.
That's the thing. I don't rage. I very rarely rage at games.
Yeah.
And I think streaming them, it encourages me to persevere. I think off stream, I would rage more. On stream, I try and keep my composure.
Yeah.
So is that stubbornness, or is it that you have the patience of an angel? No,
I
that's
think
the
it's a
question
bit of
I asked.
both. I think I am stubborn. I'm an Aries, so I'm like inherently stubborn. And before the Souls games, I would class myself as someone with little patience. Like I'm that person who, if I text someone and they don't text back within like an hour, I'm like, "Are you there? Did you get it?" I'm that person, so I have like no patience. But with Souls games, for some reason, I can just sit there for like 8 hours fighting a boss, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine. We'll do it."
Sometimes the stream it helps to have the distraction of chat.
What's that? Sorry.
I think sometimes with the streaming, if you have a distraction from chat, it makes it easier to stick it out.
100%. I can sit there for hours and hours and hours, and it feels to me like it's been 30 minutes. And I look at the time, I'm like, oh my God, it's midnight. I've been fighting this boss for like 5 hours. It's a distraction.
Wow.
I love that.
Did you just get 1,000 bits? Damn.
Yeah, that was Alpha. Alpha's saying hello. Alpha hasn't been able to go on your streams, Emmy, so he's just saying.
Hi, Alpha.
So he's not been around.
I have got your stream up. I've got you on mute, so I don't get like the weird echo. But hi, Alpha. How you doing? Good to see you.
Love that. So Pinky, do you want to ask a question? Is it safe to ask a question from your end?
I think
like
she's frozen. Yeah,
I think she's
frozen.
Bless her. Oh, bless her. That's the worst pose for her.
She looks happy.
She is usually happy, but you know.
Okay. It could be worse.
We got Pinky back.
She's twice.
Sorry.
Oh, no, she's...
It's okay. Pinky, do you want to ask a question? Are you ready for a question?
I'm just not keeping it together.
Oh, bless you.
What was the last question? We were asking about the games, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, yeah.
Okay, what game are you excited for that's coming out soon?
One that's coming out soon is probably The Last of Us remake. I love that game so much, and I played it to death on release, and I've not played it since the OG release back in whenever that was. So I'm really excited for the remake, and I've never played The Last of Us 2. So my plan is to play the remake and then play the second game afterwards because I've never played it.
Good plan.
Oh, wow.
So I'm hyped for that. I'm really hyped.
Oh, there goes my question.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm actually going to go back to a streaming question because obviously this may be a bit more relevant now that you're grown. So we've obviously had previous streamers in the past, so theirs may be different to yours. So in regards to streaming, what is the things that you probably dislike the most, especially with seeing growth? I know it's a very political question and you have to be careful how you answer it, but there's got to be some things that may frustrate you in chat or with the streaming itself.
I guess as a female streamer, unfortunately, I think we're a bit more likely to have people come into chat to say things and saying things that are a bit inappropriate or not really what I want in my chat, basically. So I think that's kind of the most frustrating thing because I just think, why would you come in and say I don't know, I'll give an example, a weird example, show me your feet or something like that. And I'm just like, well, I'm obviously not going to do that. Why would you come into chat and ask me to do that? I'm obviously not going to just sit here and just show you my foot. So
if it helps, I have had that to me as well. So don't worry, you're not alone.
It's not just us lady streamers, I know, but I think unfortunately it's a bit more of a regular occurrence. And don't get me wrong, it doesn't happen every stream. It's not that regular, but when it does, I'm just like, but why would you even do that? Why would you do that?
Yeah. Is it a troll thing or is it they genuinely want to see?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's an attention thing, so I just tend to not even respond to it. I just delete it and just move on.
It's easier to do that way.
That was going to be my next question. How do you deal with it? But no, fair play, pals.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's something. I mean, I'll be completely open and honest. Sort of things I've had in chat. I've had people come in saying, "Oh, do you have an eating disorder and things like that?" I know I'm a slim. Yeah, I've had that. I know I'm a slim person, and I've got that my whole life, and it's just my natural how I am. So I felt the need to answer that because I was just if I was somebody with an eating disorder coming into their chat and asking them that could be such a triggering thing. So I addressed that at the time and I was just don't be a douche. Don't come into someone's chat and say things like that. So but most things I'll just ignore unless it's something I feel I need to kind of address.
No,
it usually comes from a place of jealousy anyway, doesn't it?
Oh, exactly. I mean, I've got a very, very thick skin, so it doesn't bother me, but I'm just if they went in someone else's stream and did that and it could affect them and I hadn't said anything when they said it to me, I feel I haven't done my part.
Okay, so Vin's done it for you. He's showing his feet for you. There you go.
There we go.
OnlyFans, Finn's feet. There you go, guys. Oh dear, that was really nasty, Vin. I have to be honest. I hate feet. That was nasty.
I hate feet as well. I hate feet.
Sorry, the chat is asking for it. I'm sorry. Yeah, look. Tater asked for my feet. Yeah.
Oh goodness sake. Okay,
No,
Vin, have you got a question other than feet for Emmy? Have you got a question other than feet, mate?
Yeah, but so do you get that like often that people in chat come and ask you that?
It's honestly, I would say it's like maybe like once a month. It's not a regular occurrence, thankfully. I mean, I watch other female streamers, and I notice sometimes like bigger female streamers, they will get like quite a lot, but they have obviously a lot of mods and they deal with it like instantly. So, but no, it's not a regular thing. It's just one of those things that happens, and I'm just like, but why? Like, why would you even say that?
If it's once a month, it doesn't bother you, right?
Nah, it doesn't bother me. No, I have quite a thick skin. It takes a real lot to offend me. More than that.
I think Finn's just asking, when am I going to get banned? I think that's the question he's asking.
No, before I get kicked out.
I watch Emmy a lot, and I'm almost always behave. Huh?
Almost.
I've never had to time Vin out, so there's that.
Love that. So Pinky, you got a question you would like to ask? We can go into a bit more personal if you want at this stage, or is there more streaming questions you want to ask? Because we will be returning to streaming.
We do have the usual questions. I know you've mentioned obviously becoming partner. Is there anything else that streaming wise that you really want to do? So for example, a 24-hour stream, a charity stream, a co-op stream with another big streamer. What's the next big goal for you?
I mean, the main one is hitting partner, but I know that's a massive goal. So that's kind of like in the distance for me. I guess from there, I would love to do like a 12-hour stream. I've never done a 12-hour stream. The longest I've gone is like 8 or 9 hours. And even that, it's knackering. It's really knackering. Sort of talking, solidly for 8 or 9 hours. So I'd love to do a 12-hour. I'm going to be doing a 1-year anniversary in a couple of weeks, and I'm thinking maybe I'll try a 12-hour, but I might say it'll be between 8 and 12. So if I tap out early, people have been pre-warned, kind of thing. Other than that, I'd love to do a charity stream. I would love to do a charity stream one day. I've never done that. And like sort of other goals, I guess just to try and hit like, I think 5K followers is my next goal, but I know that's a long way off. Like that's an ambitious goal. So that's in the future.
I don't think it's a long way off at all. I think everyone agree with me here. That's not far off at all. Don't worry about that.
At the rate you're going, definitely not.
Thank you. We'll see.
So,
two months.
Is there anything you want to ask about streaming, or are we happy to go into the personal questions? Let's start grilling Emmy properly. Let's try and take it back to her childhood. What do you want to do, Vin?
I'm kidding.
Let's go back to Emmy's childhood.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kickstart this one. So this is the favourite one. So quite a popular one that we always ask, and this was stemming from Pinky's brain. So when you were in school, from your primary school years to obviously middle school and stuff, how did you find it? Was there any problems you had? What was generally Emmy's life in regards to school years?
I mean, primary school and secondary school, I always say this, I feel like I got off really, really lightly. Like I had some close friends who got bullied to death and just had a really like shitty time in school. I think I got off quite lightly. I was somebody who I had like a solid friendship group, like my really close friends, but I sort of floated also between like, I guess like the emo kids, like the goth kids, the group of chavs, like the more popular kids. I somehow remained sort of quite sort of on even sort of, I don't know, even playing field with everyone. I was just sort of friendly with everyone. So I think I got through school quite easily. I wasn't like overly academic. I had my subjects that I loved, like English, like literature. I loved German. I loved learning another language. But then I had my subjects that I just didn't understand, which was maths. I'm crap at maths to this day. Like luckily our phones have calculators, so I don't need to use it. But in school, I was awful at it. And science as well. Again, that sort of went way over my head. So I was academic in some senses, not in the others. I wasn't very creative. I was awful at art. I would always like have an image in my head that I want to translate to paper, and it just wouldn't happen. So I was crap at art. But yeah, I had quite an easy time throughout school, to be fair.
Cool.
Overall.
Yeah, there goes 6 questions.
Did I just cover everything?
No, you've done really well. You've done really well.
No.
Brilliant.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Okay, good.
Go on, Pinky.
Okay, so in terms of schooling, were you part of any sports team? Were you very sporty, or the total opposite?
I wasn't very
question.
I wasn't very sporty. Even to this day, I don't even enjoy watching sports. I don't watch like football. I never watch the Olympics. It's just not, it's never been my thing. I had a bout of like cheerleading when my school introduced that, because I was like, oh my God, it's so American. Like, it's so American, like high school. I was like, I want to do this. And then I realized like I have no athletic or gymnastic skills. I can't even do like a cartwheel or a forward roll. And I have no rhythm. So it didn't really go very well, but I tried.
At least you gave it a go. That's important.
I gave it a go. I got pom-poms, so that was fun.
That's the important part.
Yeah, I had no rhythm. I couldn't dance to save my life, and I couldn't like do a forward roll, but it was fine.
Were the pom-poms pink? That's the question. Were they pink?
No, they weren't. They were red and black. Like
Are they the school colours?
Yeah, they were.
Okay. So the question I'm going to ask from that though is, as a British person, we are very arrogant in learning other languages, and since I've been very fortunate to meet people like Vin. I've got a lot of Dutch community that I talk to, and different languages and so forth. Especially with Twitch, you obviously can see the scale that it goes to, which is amazing. But we're so ignorant in the fact that we don't know other languages, and it's quite breathtaking to hear someone say you actually enjoyed learning German. How far did you take that?
I loved learning it, but now I have absolutely no knowledge of it. It's so sad. I did, honestly, I did it for my GCSEs, and I think I got like a B or a C. Like I got a decent grade in it, and then when I finished school, I just never used it. And now I have pretty much zero knowledge of it. It's really sad. I spent like 5 years learning it, and I can't speak any of it.
Wat is je Deutsch sprechen? Wat is je Deutsch sprechen jetzt?
9.
Oh, I love that. I was honest about it.
I no worries, Fleety. I just asked if she wanted to talk German. That's it.
Okay. All right. I believe.
No worries. I'm not being that guy today. Okay.
I'm not being that guy. He's behaving himself. There you go, Emmy. He's intimidated by you, which is good.
I would love to speak another language. Like, I'd love to learn another language, but I just don't know where I'd find the time to actually, like, realistically do so now.
So, well, you can do it on your phone, eh? I don't know.
Yeah, that app, isn't it like Duolingo or something like that?
Yeah. I'm learning Italian again because it faded away from me, so I'm learning it again.
Maybe I should do it with German. Maybe it wouldn't take too long for it to come back. I don't know. It must be up there somewhere. Like I must have something stored.
we got Pinky back. Let's add her to the stream again.
Sorry, I'm having connection issues.
It's all right. It's not a problem, mate. It's not a problem.
Tell Sarah to stop streaming. Then you have more bandwidth.
No, this is on data.
So, Pinky, Emmy said that she's obviously forgotten her German language and that she obviously hasn't got the time to learn it again. All right. So, is there any questions you want to follow on with?
So, besides German, were there any other languages that you'd really want to learn?
Oh, I'd love to learn French. Like, I think French just sounds so pretty. And I'd love to go to Paris and actually not seem like an ignorant Brit and like be able to speak the language. Like Italian, I'd love to learn Italian. I'd love to learn Russian. I think Russian sounds so lovely. I'd love to learn Korean as well, just so when I watch like Korean dramas on Netflix, I don't have to put the subtitles on.
I love that. I love that.
That's the only reason for that one. But yeah, there's so many languages, but I just feel like there's so little time. We need more hours in the day to do all these things.
Exactly.
But you are the first Brit that wants to learn French then, because I thought that that the Brits and the French don't get along too well.
I love France. I love Paris. Yeah, I love France. Yeah.
Why?
Why?
I mean, there's Disneyland.
Yeah.
I love Paris. Paris is a very beautiful city. I like Paris. I went to France quite a bit as a kid. My granddad races cars, and he used to travel around Europe. Like I used to go with him in a camper van, so we used to go around Europe quite a bit. So I spent quite a bit of time in France.
It's amazing. Love that.
Yeah, I was quite lucky.
Professional racing or amateur?
Not professional. No, it's like just a hobby for him. He races like Formula V and Formula 4, so they're not as speedy as like Formula 1 and Formula 2, but they're up there.
Yeah. They're still
he's still going to this day. He's in his 70s now, and he's still doing it.
My aunt's brother from Ireland does that as well.
Really?
Yeah, Joe Murray. I don't know if you maybe know him.
No, I genuinely used to like. I used to know the drivers sort of off by heart, like their names off by heart. I was going all the time, but now I haven't been since I was about, I think 15, 16, which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I love it.
I know that feeling. It's been a while.
There he is. There he is. Pinky,
wasn't what I
save the
meant.
subject.
No.
Save the subject, Pinky.
I was going to say, didn't I ask that question?
Save
But it's
us.
fine.
What?
Oh, she's on the
Oh, you
spot,
mentioned
Esther.
actually something quite interesting, that you quite like Korean dramas. Not one we've
Yeah,
had a
so
good
when
one before.
I say Korean dramas, I mean I'm not. There's so many that I have on my list to watch. I mean the most recent I watched is probably like everyone else, Squid Games. I also love the Korean director whose name has slipped my mind. He won an Oscar not too long ago, like a few years back, for Parasite.
Samsung.
Parasite,
Yeah. So I love his films as well. I'd love to be able to sit there like with a Korean film and not have subtitles on.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That would be. Honestly, I would. That'd be.
What kind of
inspirational.
dramas are on
Do you know
your
what
list?
you
I have
do?
it on
You
my
stream
list.
it and translate it.
Oh God, I'd have to see if I got the notes. Hold on, I might have the notes up on my phone. Oh crap! Oh, it's on. Right, I got a new phone this week, and I haven't transferred all my notes, so I don't think it's actually on there. But I have a lot on there. Look, I have lovely people in my chat who watch Korean dramas a lot as well, and they'll tell me which ones they're watching at the moment. So I'm like, right, note that down.
Yeah.
Someone else does that, don't they, Pinky?
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Post-it notes, bless her. See, Eddie's shown you the way. Put it on your phone, all right?
Although I haven't actually transferred it from my old phone, so it's not actually worked for me in this instance.
I love that.
It's on my old phone.
As Vin's disappeared, I'm going to ask this question on his behalf. I think he's probably blown his nose, bless him. So, back to your childhood. So, when you were younger, what was the dream job you always wanted to do? What did you want to do growing up? You might have had an influence, like obviously you said about the driving. Was that maybe that, or was there anything you really wanted to do?
My granddad always wanted me to try and get into that, but it wasn't really my thing. I didn't even get a driving license until I was like 26 or 25, 26. So I was really late in life even learning how to drive, which was quite ironic considering like my granddad races for like a hobby. But I think growing up, I went through so many different things. Like at one stage, I was like, oh, I want to be a vet. And I was like, oh, no, wait, I couldn't give people the sad news about their animal if they had to be like put to sleep or anything like that. And then I was like, and at one stage, I was like, I want to be a ballerina. So I did ballet lessons and that didn't really work out because, again, I have no rhythm. I thought maybe a piano player as well. So I learned piano for a bit. That didn't really work out. I got bored of that. I think my most serious thing that I wanted to do for some time was to become a journalist. And I did that in college. And I wanted to become a fashion journalist. And it got to the end of my BTEC in journalism. I got my BTEC. I got like the highest grade in it. And at the last minute, I decided, you know what? I don't want to do this. So I didn't go to uni. I just ended up getting a job, just like a regular office job and just earning money for the first time. And I just kind of went from there and never looked back.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you.
Yeah.
Can appreciate that.
Vin, are you back? Are you still there, Vin? Can you hear us? Have you gone to another planet?
We've lost him.
I think we've lost him. We've
lost him.
Go on then, Pinky, if you want to ask a question.
So, in terms of the not going to university thing, what was it that made you decide not to go through with journalism? Did you just lose interest?
Yeah, towards the end of my second year, so it's a 2-year course. First year I loved. Towards the end of my second year, I was just losing interest. I was like, I'm just not enjoying this like I was before. And I was just like, do I actually want to do this as a career? And then I looked into obviously how much uni fees are, and I was going to get like a student loan like everyone does. But that was weighing on my mind as well, thinking, do I want to spend like $9,000 a year on something I'm not like 100% certain on? So in the end, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go like out into the real world, get a job, see how I feel. And if I want to go back to uni, I always can do that at a later stage. And I decided not to. So I just ended up just carrying on like working and never really looked back. And to be fair, I think like in hindsight with like journalism, like print media kind of dying out, I can't help but feel like it might have been a good move that I didn't go into that.
I have to say, I think it was. I think even the digital media is struggling.
Exactly.
You had I don't know if people know about the on-surge of lad Bibles everywhere when it first come off, everywhere on Facebook, everywhere. And then even they nearly went bust at one point. They literally had to grip it together. It's a very tough
struggle.
Industry. Yeah, very tough industry. So it's the same. As Twitch. It's the same as Twitch, though. It's a very saturated market. It's very.
Oh, exactly.
So well done to you, though. You're standing out.
Thank you very much.
The question, Vin, are you back? Do you want to ask a question? You back now?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm back. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Do you want to ask a question, mate? Because you've been included. You keep disappearing.
Well, did you have any other hobbies outside of gaming when you were younger? Yeah, just a couple of years back, but a little younger.
Yeah, so I mean, my main interest to this day, outside of gaming, like streaming, is fashion. Like I love fashion. Like to this day, I'll just sort of, when a designer's new collection is launched, I'll sit there on YouTube and watch like the full 20-minute show. And
Really?
that's like my main interest. Like I used to collect Vogue magazines when I was younger. That's like what influenced my Twitch name, because it has my name and it has like my other hobby kind of like integrated in it, if you like.
So
yeah,
Vogue is,
fashion.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, fashion is my other hobby. Like I once or twice a year, I'll treat myself to like a new like bag. Like designer bags are my thing, so I see them as like investments. So like once or twice a year, I'll treat myself to one, and I'll keep it pristine, and I'll sort of sell it a few years later and buy a different one. So that's like, yeah, fashion is my my main interest other than gaming.
I thought Vogue was your last name.
No, I wish. No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I wish it was.
Pinky, you want to carry that on?
Yeah. So going back on that, you say you quite like fashion. Is there a particular designer that you like more than any other, or a particular designer that you dislike?
I think since I was like very, very young, I've loved Chanel. I feel like Chanel is like the like epitome of sort of designer brands, and I think it's timeless as well. So Chanel is like way up there, but at the same time, it's not very affordable. So it's not something that most people can really treat themselves to. I have one Chanel purchase in my collection, and that is it. And that is probably the only one I will ever have in my lifetime. So I treasure that. Other than that, I really like I love Prada. I feel like Prada's very timeless. I used to love Gucci, but I feel like in the last couple of years, they've almost kind of cheapened the brand with the designs they're using. I don't really like having something with the designer logo like branded like all over it, so you know like what somebody's carrying. I don't really like that. I love sort of smaller like in what I call like indie brands as well. Like there's a really small designer called Olivia Rose Label, and she does really pretty like sort of flowy like sort of frilly summer dresses and summer tops. And so yeah, I tend to go for most of my things. I try and get from like smaller brands. I try to avoid like fast fashion as much as I can, just because I feel like it's not really that great for many reasons. So yeah, I feel like brands like Chanel, obviously they're not very affordable, but then I find like the middle ground with smaller brands that are affordable but also not fast fashion.
Unique fashion sense. All right, so if anybody needs some advice, please contact Emmy and she can give you advice.
Oh, my friends would say otherwise. They question what I'm wearing. Like I went out the other day in like a white sort of short sort of summer dress with these chunky black loafers and then like little white ankle socks, and people were like, are you going to school? Like why are you wearing like frilly white ankle socks and loafers? Like are you off back to school or something?
Love that. That's what friends are for though, right?
Exactly.
That is what they're
They give me honesty. They give me honesty.
I love that. Vin, you got a question for Emmy?
No.
He's looking at the hymn sheet, isn't he?
I'm looking at Zoe's sheet, but it's gotten pretty big since last time.
Because we're learning as we go, Vin.
Yeah.
Well, some of us are.
See, I'm going on the cusp, Vin. You got to practice.
I have to practice, yeah. Yeah, you know, on midweek mix-up, we didn't have the sheet. I just talk shit, you know. That's not...
Emmy's happy for you to shit as well.
Just go for it.
What is your favorite film?
Oh, I like this question. Probably a Tarantino film. I love Tarantino. Probably Pulp Fiction. I can watch that honestly again and again and again. But then I love Django. I love Jackie Brown. Honestly, like his whole collection. But oh my gosh, what's the one that I don't love? It's the slightly Western one. What's it called? It's not Django.
I think I know.
I know you're
Hateful Eight. It's Hateful Eight. Yeah, that's the only one that I don't really love of his. But all the other ones I love.
With Chris Pratt in it.
Yes. It felt a bit rushed, I think. I felt a bit rushed for a Tarantino film. It's a bit too predictable, I think, would be fair to say.
Yeah, I felt like, I know Tarantino is very dialogue heavy, but I just felt like that took it to the extreme. There was just not really much else going on. And I was like, this is just a bit, they could have done so much more with it, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pulp Fiction's all-time favorite.
Love that. Love a great
good film. It's a good film.
What about in terms of TV series? Obviously, you are a film buff. So
favorite TV series? I think of all time, like bar season 8, I would say Game of Thrones. If we just pretend season 8 didn't ever happen,
I think most people will be with you there, Emmy.
Yeah, it just didn't happen. But I think modern day TV shows. I love Euphoria. I can watch that like again and again. I've finished watching season 2 for the 4th time recently. So yeah, that's my favorite like modern day TV show.
I agree on Khaleesi.
Mother of Dragons.
Yeah, we love Khaleesi. Emmy, I need to ask a question. So if you were to recommend, so let's say somebody completely new to films, they come from another planet, for example, completely new to films. If you had to say 3 films to give them and 3 TV series to get them into it, what would you go for?
Ooh, okay. Films would definitely be Pulp Fiction. I'd also throw like a really girly film in there, like Mean Girls. I freaking love Mean Girls so much. I can just watch that. Like, again. It's so quotable. Like if you want a quotable film, go to Mean Girls. And other than that, I would say like a Denzel Washington film, because you have to have some Denzel. I would say like Man on Fire, because that film is just like heartbreaking. And if you want to be hitting the feels, and it's Man on Fire all the way. For TV shows,
it's deja vu.
Honestly, Man on Fire just gets me. No matter how many times I watch that film, I'm just heartbroken at the end. I'm just like in absolute bits. And TV shows, Game of Thrones, 100%. Just not season 8. We'll just tell them that one doesn't exist. Yeah. Breaking Bad. Definitely Breaking Bad. TV show. And a third one. I would probably just go with Euphoria for like a modern one, to see like what's happening like with the kids these days. Exactly.
But I did hear earlier that you were watching The Boys as well. I think it's
I've been binge watching The Boys. I'm up to the start of season 3 now. I'm about to start season 3.
Same as me.
And I won't say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anyone like in chat who's not seen it, but it's so good. I just love I love a dark humor like that, like a dark comedy where you're just like, oh, are they allowed to say that? Are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to show that? I love that.
Yeah, please don't spoil. I'm still on season 1. I just started. So.
It gets so good.
I'm loving it so far.
It gets so good. I'm not a massive fan of, this might be controversial, of like Marvel. I'm not a massive like superhero. I know.
Same year.
I'm not a massive like superhero. I used to love it, but I feel like it's been oversaturated now. I can't keep up. So I'm like, I'm over it kind of thing. But I like the fact that The Boys are really taking the piss out of that.
Yeah. No, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I understand that because there's so many films. If you miss one in the series, there's Marvel films.
Yeah, there's TV shows now as well. And I was like, where do people find the time to actually like be up to date with this?
Yes. Like, how do people do it? I think it's
some people do that, Fleety.
Hey, just because I've done a whole weekend of watching every film back to back, all right? Leave me alone.
But I agree on the boys part. You know what Emmy says, that I really like the mocking of the real superheroes. You know, in that series.
Yeah, that's what I like. It just really takes the piss. I like that.
Same here. I don't really like the superhero stuff, but this one I like. You know.
Yeah, no, same here.
I think what we noticed about Emmy so far though is that she's a bit of a rule breaker. Anything against the rules and rips them up, she likes. I think that's what we're getting the gist of here. All right.
I am quite like, I think I never had like a rebellious stage. Like as a teenager, I was so like, I think my mum had a really, really easy time with me. I never had like a rebellious stage, but I'm not good with like authority. If somebody tells me to do something, I'm like, but why? If you have a good reason, I'll do that thing. But if you don't, then like, well, I'm not going to do it.
Please have the grass. Jumping on it.
I'm just like, I'm not going to do that thing then.
Love that. Pinky, got a question?
Yeah. What's your opinion on horror films? Because obviously you play a fair few horror games. What are your opinions on horror films?
I love a horror film. As a kid, I was honestly obsessed with them to the point where it might have been quite worrying for my mum. Like we would go to like Blockbuster on a Friday night, and she'd be like, right, what should we rent for this weekend? And I'd be like, oh, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'd be like, I think I was like 9 or 10 at the time. She's like, well, don't you want like a Disney film? I'm like, no. We want like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, and like It or something like that. And as a kid, I had like no fear with horror films. I could sit there and watch like blood and guts and it just wouldn't really affect me. As I've got older, for some reason, I get more grossed out or like scared by horror films than I used to. I don't know how that makes sense. But as I've got older, like there's some films I just can't watch. Signs, for example, with Mel Gibson, that's one of them. I just can't watch it. Cannot watch it. It's not even a full-blown horror film. It just really scares the crap out of me. It just terrifies me. Absolutely terrifies me.
Do you know what it is about it that scares you?
I think it's just something about the thought of, I guess, like aliens, like coming to Earth. I don't know what it is. I can watch the film Alien and not get scared, which is obviously a more horrifying looking creature. But the film Signs, I'm just like, no, I'm out. I'm done. I can't do with it.
More psychological then.
I don't, but yeah, generally I like horror films. I do love a good horror film. If I have someone to watch it with, if I watch it by myself, like at night, then I will just lie there awake for hours and hours thinking something's watching me.
I can definitely appreciate that one.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of like horror games as well. Sorry.
Yeah, I love horror games as well. I think I like horror games more than films because I feel in control of like the outcome, I guess.
Yeah.
Except if you're playing Outlast, you have no chance.
Yeah, I mean, Outlast is quite fun. I didn't find that too scary. There's one game that I tapped out on last Halloween. I couldn't finish it. Visage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
I did 3 chapters and it's just too much for me. I was like, I can't actually deal with this.
Okay. Well, I can recommend one for you if you may not have played it yet. Pinky got recommended this to me, was Song of Horror.
Ooh, I've not heard of that.
I would highly, so have a look at this. 5 episodes. You can get the whole bundle, obviously, on Steam. Highly recommend it. That really plays with the head.
Sweetie, I've got to drop out. My phone's overheating.
Okay.
Sorry. I've got to drop out.
Okay, don't panic.
The phone's going to melt.
It's
Bye, Pinky.
Hold it. So, bye, everybody.
Hi. Nice to see you.
Oh, bless her.
Oh, bless her.
So, yeah, Song of Horror, highly recommend. I think it may be, especially in terms of psychological horror, I think it may be something that might speak you out a bit.
Yeah, I will have a look. I've got some games lined up for this Halloween, so I will add that to the list of ones to look into and maybe, yeah, I'll give that a go.
Awesome. Awesome. Vin, you're up with a question?
Well, Pinky's gone, but I'm going to ask her question. Are you a reader? If so, what book are you reading at the moment?
No,
and what is your favorite book?
I'm not. As a kid, I would read all the time. If I was ever going on holiday somewhere on the plane, I'd read literally from start to finish on that plane journey. Then as I've got older, I think my attention span has got worse. Like I swear it's meant to go the other way. But as I've got older, my attention span has just honestly gone to shit. I don't know what has happened, but I cannot sit here and read a book from start to finish anymore. I used to be able to as a kid. I got through the Harry Potter series, like a series of unfortunate events. I got through so many books. And as an adult, I just don't have the attention span, which is quite sad.
Yeah, no, I get it. Now we just wait for it to be filmed when the book comes on.
Literally, yeah. I wish I could. My attention span just won't let me.
I'll say.
I love that. Love that. So obviously, you went from English literature to getting high grades in that to not reading at all.
I know, honestly, it's quite ironic.
So I need to ask you some questions about your personal life. Obviously, you have the lovely Audrey, which is like probably, would you say, your best friend?
Yeah, Audrey, she's my child. I honestly I refer to her as I would with a daughter. I'm like, oh yeah, like she's fine. My daughter's all good. And people are like, your daughter? I'm like, oh, my cat, yeah.
So Audrey's been mentioned many times on the street, but she hasn't come on though, has she? She
has a handful of times. She's an indoor cat, but she's not much of a lap cat. So she'll sit on my lap when she feels like it, which is like very rarely. So she has come on stream a couple of times, and I'll like hold her up, and she'll just sort of get the hump and want to jump back down.
Let go of me, Mum.
Yeah, she's not about it. She doesn't really get it. Yeah, she's basically my child. She's I've had her since she's like 14 weeks old, and she'll be 5 this year. So yeah, she's like my baby.
Oh, bless her. Vin, you got a question for Emmy?
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
We're not on that bit yet, Vin.
Oh,
pineapple on pizza.
Well, we agree on a lot of things. So I'm just wondering. This thing is in my head. If she says yes, I'm happy, man. So.
Okay. What's that about pizza?
Right, pineapple on a pizza.
Oh no!
God damn it!
No! I don't.
Thanks for watching. I'm off.
I like pineapple. Like I like pineapple juice. Like eating like pineapple like chunks, just sort of chopped up. But I don't like pineapple on pizza. I don't get it. I don't get fruit on pizza. I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either, Vin. You're probably on your own in this one, pal. So, in terms of, obviously, we're going to go back to streaming for a bit here. Okay?
Yeah.
We can dive back. So, we're going to go back to streaming here for you. So, we've gone through the games that you like and you dislike. You've gone through your favourites. You said that you're obviously looking forward to the Last of Us remake. So is there any reason that stopped you playing that game?
I mean, I've played The Last of Us, the first game before. I have played like the OG one when it first was released. I just haven't played the second. But I think I've been waiting stream-wise for the remake to come out before I actually play the previous one on stream, just so I can play the most up-to-date one. But I've never played the second one, mostly because when it came out, I didn't actually have a working PlayStation at the time. So I obviously didn't play it for that reason. And I also didn't hear the best things. I know there's some controversial things that kind of happens in it that some people weren't happy about. So I think that was part of the reason as well. But I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, but believe me, don't listen to those stories. 2 is better than 1. Believe me.
Yeah,
really.
a lot of people have said the gameplay is just as good, but I think some people weren't happy with the story choices. Whatever happens, I don't know what happens. I've kind of tried to keep it spoiler free, but yeah, I've heard it's a bit controversial.
But I think that's a bit of the problem that people have these days. They all think they're allowed to tell you or the developers of a series or a game what should happen.
Yeah,
it's the story from the developer, not the story from the people that play the game. And
yeah, I agree.
And I played it the game because it was recommended by a friend of mine. The Last of Us 1 and 2, and he said 2 is better than 1. And I'm like, yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it myself and gonna find out. And I agree, 2 is better than 1 story wise, but you have to follow the story like the developer wants you to follow the story, not as a complete, ongoing story from part 1.
Yeah.
It's another story in the same story. That's how you should see it. And then the game is actually like really, really good. So
yeah, I've heard the gameplay is really, really good. I'm gonna give it a go. And I will make my own mind up how I feel about it.
It's semi-horror. It fits your thing.
See, I like playing games that maybe has some not controversy around it, but maybe some sort of differing opinions, so that I can kind of see how I feel about it.
You're very open-minded, Emmy. It's definitely your type of game. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I think I love the first one, so I think as long as it's somewhat like the first one, I'll enjoy the second one.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's also from another point of view. Is that the right thing, Flea? What I say now?
Yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's in a couple of weeks, isn't it? That the remake's out. It's not very long.
The remake of the remaster of the original.
No, it's
the remake of the original remaster.
It's the remaster of the remake of the updated director's cut.
It's a bit cheeky that they're charging I think it's gonna be like £70 here.
£70, yeah.
I think it's a little bit cheeky for a game that's now been released 3 times, but I'll still buy it.
Yeah, but I think it comes to that the PlayStation Plus service maybe really soon. I hope.
Oh, is it?
I hope so. I don't know, but I hope so.
Because I have that.
Because that street game was.
We're going to go away from the Last of Us again. Come on, we're going away from it. Come on, I know you love it. We're going away. We're going to go back to something actually Vin will be really like, Emmy. So we're going to take you back again. So you've obviously been a gamer for most of your life that you've enjoyed. Let's take us back from when your gaming life started. Let's go back to the first game that
God, it's a bit embarrassing. So my first console was a PlayStation 1.
Okay.
The first game I had was Spice Girls.
Was that a Spice Girls game?
Oh, wow.
You'd choose your favorite Spice Girl. Mine was Baby Spice, and then you'd practice your dancing, you practice your singing as your character, and then you go and put on a show, and you just repeat that for each of the characters. It was the most boring of games, but 5-year-old me loved it.
That was
my first. And I think I also had Crash Bandicoot not too long after. I had Spyro. I loved Spyro. I think it was the third one where you had the skateboarding level. I really liked that.
Yeah.
I think I had some Tony Hawk games as well. I also had a very, very old console that my dad gave me. It's like a handheld. It's like a Sega, Sega something or other.
Game Gear?
Game Gear.
Yeah, and I had Sonic the Hedgehog on that.
Yeah, big Game Gear.
Yeah.
Love that.
So that was one of the first consoles that I had as well. But yeah, first ever game was Spice Girls.
Yeah. There you go, guys. You've heard it here. EmmyVogue's gaming career started with Spice Girls. I don't know more to say about that.
But isn't Baby Spice also called Emmy, right?
Yeah, her name's Emma.
Yeah.
Well done, Vin.
Yeah.
Well done.
Just, see, I know some facts. You see, Fleety?
Yeah, okay. All right. She also likes Sonic, Finn, as well. All right. Are you
Yeah.
happy now?
Yeah, I am.
I love some Sonic.
Yes, thank you.
So in terms of franchises then, because obviously like you said, you played through all the Spyros, you played through all the Crash Bandicoots. Is there anything that, obviously, for me, Final Fantasy series is the be-all and end-all for me. Is there any series that, has got you, that you constantly want? Is there anything that you want to be revived? You want to see back?
I mean, as a kid, I loved the Tomb Raider series. I was obsessed with Tomb Raider. I think because it's like a female protagonist. So as like a young girl, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I can play as like a female, like kicking butt. So I really like that. I would love to see, I know there's been more modern Tomb Raider games, but I haven't loved them that much, I have to say. Like they've been okay. I've enjoyed them. I just don't get that same feeling. Maybe just because I'm older, but I don't get the same feeling I did with like the original ones as a kid. Like for example, the one where you could wander around Lara's mansion, you could lock the butler in the freezer. Like, I love that. I would just do that like over and over again as a kid. Like I want that feeling back.
Target on himself with the old tray.
Oh, I know, with his little rattly trays. Yeah. As a kid, though, that was actually quite horrifying. Like hearing him come around the corner, I was like, "Oh my god, he's here! He's here!"
Well, you have to do the time trial, didn't you, for the cheat, didn't you? And you yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see Tomb Raider come back with a game that gives me that same feeling. But I think it might be more me just being older as opposed to them not releasing good games.
No, I gotcha. Have you given them a try, the latest ones?
I have tried. They're okay. They're enjoyable. They're fun. I just don't get that excited about them.
I'm exactly the other way around. I really loved the latest ones. You know,
really?
Rise and Shadow of Tomb Raider. I freaking love those games.
So I like them. I think it's just me being older. I think I just don't get that same feelings that like when I was a kid. I think that's just it. I think that's it for me.
I got you. I need to ask you this question. This is probably a dark one in the old history books and stuff. Is there any controversial game that you really enjoyed that you shouldn't have? So we're going to take Spicegirls away for a second.
Yeah, Spicegirls away.
People have really been like, I don't really like, I'm not really a fan of, but you've really, really enjoyed.
There's a game, I think it's a PS exclusive called Heavy Rain, and I think it was well received like when it came out, but now it's become like a meme thing, like with the dad like wandering around shouting Sean, like that one. I think it's become Jason. It's become like a meme, but I actually think to this day that game's actually still really, really good. Like I think it was so like innovative for what it was. I think it's really like with the multiple endings and like the quick time events and things like that. So I think that's one of them because now it gets like the piss taken out of it. But I still think to this day, like that was a good game.
No, I love that. I loved Heavy Rain. Did you ever play the follow-on game? It wasn't a follow-on; it's a new brand, but the same concept called Beyond Two Souls. I think that's
I didn't. I'm very much aware of that, but I didn't actually play it. I think it's got. Is that the one that's got? Is it Elliot Page in? Is that the one? Yes. Yeah. I haven't played that.
Very good in terms, especially with your time of thriller and what's going on, time of gripping the story. I think for you that might be another step for you to take on that.
Yeah, there's another one as well. What's the game that has Detroit in the name?
Detroit Become Human.
Yes, I've got that. I think that's the same
franchise.
Yeah, that's like a similar one as well. I want to play that too.
Yeah.
Who's Elliot Page?
Emmy, do you want to take this one?
Yes. So Elliot Page was formerly known as, I can't even remember what his name previously was. Is it Ellen? No.
Ellen, that's it. It was Ellen.
So his previous name was Ellen Page. But he transitioned into Amal, so now is known as Elliot Page. He's also in The Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Oh, okay. Still no clue, but I will look it up.
He's an actor.
You'll recognize him.
Yeah. Okay. She was famous actress at one point, and then she's a famous actor now. She's been very brave, very strong in the transition. Yeah, she's been very open and honest about it. She's happy with who she is now. So
okay.
He's happy. Oh, yeah, all right. It's not to be offensive on that.
Well, I'll try to help. I'm sorry.
Thank you. So obviously, is there anything that you would play on stream now? That's an old nostalgic game. Because you are playing the current franchise. You're not too old, the ones you're playing. Is there anything that you would dapple back on the PS1
I'd love to do like the OG Resident Evil games because I only ever played like as a kid. I only ever played the very first Resident Evil, like the OG one, and I got up to the part where the dogs jumped through the windows in the corridor, and I was like, "Nah, I'm out." So I never finished it. I never went back to it as a kid. So I'd love to go back through like the OG ones now, having played the remakes. I'd love to play those.
With original controls.
Yeah, I'd try original controls.
Yeah,
it wouldn't go very well, but yeah, I'll give it a go.
I hated those controls in Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, Resident Evil 1, even to this day, when I played that on stream, I was struggling with the controls. I tried it on keyboard and mouse, and I was like, this is not happening. So I switched to controller, and even then, it was still so clunky. And like trying to avoid zombies and trying to even just go for a headshot. I'm like, where am I aiming right now? I have no idea. I can't see.
Yeah.
I think you'll prefer the story in number 2, the original number 2 for me. It's one of my favorites.
And number 3 as well. I've heard in number 3 they cut a lot out, so I'd love to play the original story. I'd also love to go through the old GTA games, like from San Andreas onwards.
Oh, you want to go a bit early? You want to go GTA 3?
I mean, I did the GTA 3 remaster on stream when they did the remaster. I did that on stream, and I started to do Vice City, and Vice City was so buggy, I just couldn't do it. It was so buggy.
They've pulled the plug in any future remasters. Bless them.
Yeah, it was unplayable. One mission, I just couldn't finish it because of the bug. So I was like, all right, I'm going to give up.
Vice City was the best GTA till date still.
Vice City?
Yeah.
I love Vice City was the first one that I properly played like as a kid and took seriously. I had number 3, but I just used it as like a driving simulator, just drive around and like run people over. But Vice City was the first one I actually played like the story through to the end. Yeah, I love Vice City. And the music's so good as well, like the 80s soundtrack.
And all the Scarface, how you call them?
References? Yeah.
References?
So many. I love San Andreas as well. San Andreas was iconic.
I didn't play that because I didn't own a PlayStation back then.
Oh, San Andreas is so good.
Yeah, what a game. What a game.
I heard stories, but I still haven't played it. It's in Game Pass, so I should have downloaded it. But
yeah, give it a go. It's so good.
The storyline's good as well. It's
yeah.
I think the idea of everything being able to do whatever you wanted. I think that
like you
really
could go to the
gym.
World, you could go to the gym and like get super buff, or you could go to like McDonald's and just like get your character like a little bit chubby. And it was so much. It was the first game I think at that time where you had that level of like immersion. It was really cool.
Yep.
Look,
Definitely right there. Definitely.
Look.
Right, you need to go to McDonald's.
No, I gained. Sorry, I gained 4 kilo since I quit smoking 6 months ago.
Oh, well done, mate. Well done.
No, I gained 4 kilo. It's shit, man. Look, I'm getting chubby.
You're not allowed to start smoking again, though. Apologies, Emmy. Apologies for that. That is
You're fine.
Love that.
No, you know, Emmy, I quit smoking half a year ago. You know, after 22 years, and now I have my smell and my taste back. You know, I was 40.
Oh my god.
I was 40 when
that's quite a long time to obviously then give something up. I bet you notice like the difference quite quickly.
Yeah, well, I have this vape thing now.
Yeah.
It's a bit cheating, but you know, it's still good enough. But after a couple of months, I gained my smell and my taste back. You know.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm just the only thing I'm doing is
you can smell
everything is so
colors now.
everything is just so. How you say that?
Nice.
Good taste. You know, good taste. You know, with food. You know, so.
So I've never in my whole life I've never smoked. I've just never. No, my whole life I'm just like I think of the money. I'm just like, well, I could buy like a pair of shoes, you know, for like what smoking costs for like a month these days. So I'm just like, no, I just think of the money.
In those 22 years that I smoked a lot. I think there could have been like 4 BMWs on my driveway.
See, that's it. That's what I think of. I add that up. I'm like, right, what could I buy with this?
Yeah. Well, obviously food, because that's the problem I have now.
Which actually goes on nicely to the subject of food. Emmy, what is your favorite meal? Ooh. I heard earlier you said about a bacon sandwich earlier, and I was like, yes.
Yeah, I had a bacon sandwich this morning. I would say favorite meal is just like a pizza. I will never not be happy to sit down with a pizza. Like, I don't care what mood I'm in. I could be in the crappiest of moods. If you put a pizza in front of me, I'll be happy instantly. So I would say pizza. I'm not going to lie, I do love my fast food, like my junk food. I love the Mackies. Like, when Mackies re-release the mozzarella dippers, I'm so happy. I can just sit there with like a share box, and I'm not sharing because I refuse to believe what it says in the box. They're not meant to be shared. So yeah, I love like junk food as well. I love a Mackies. Like, I love a Subway. I love a KFC. I just love the things that you're not meant to eat that often.
So you're basically the female version of Joey from Friends, right?
Yeah, I don't share food.
I
don't share food.
Love that. So actually, that's quite surprising because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a bit, shouldn't really say this, but you're just like, yeah, no, I love my fast food. Yeah, bring it on.
Oh no, I do not eat very healthily, at least not very often. I love fruit. I will sit there with like, I'll happily sit there like a bowl of fruit and just like get through the whole bowl. But I do not like my veggies. I'm not a veggie person. I thought it was something like I grow out as I got older. My mum was always like, as a kid, oh, when you get older, you'll like your Brussels sprouts, you like your carrots. And then I've got older and I'm just like, I still don't like them. Give me some fruit and I'm happy, but veggies, no.
But and beans, that's number one veggie in the UK, right?
I like beans, baked beans.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I like baked beans. I'll have those, but I don't, because I know they are a vegetable, but I don't see them as a vegetable because they're not green. I think it's green food. I have an issue with like green food.
No, fair play. Green, you're not going to my plate. Go away.
I think that's what it is. Like even I don't like a salad either. I won't eat a salad. Too much green.
I know there's quite a few people in chat will probably sit there going, yes, agreed.
Well, I like a salad, but not in a restaurant. If I'm out for dinner, then I want good food.
Yeah, exactly. It's like going to Mackey's for like a chicken salad. Like, why would you do that?
Well, what's Mackey's? McDonald's or not?
McDonald's, yeah. Sorry, that's my slang. I just call it Mackey's.
Yeah, okay. The Golden Arches.
Golden Arches, yeah.
Cool beans,
guys,
yes, Darcy.
If any franchises out here, Emmy could be a great sponsor for you for the Golden Arches.
McDonald's sponsor me. Give me your mozzarella dippers.
Love that.
Oh, they are going to respond. Watch it.
So this is going to go on to obviously we're talking about food and stuff. So outside, obviously, Gabe, let's step you out. Let's get out of your room. You're getting out of your office. So your friends have rung you up. What's your ideal night out? What's your ideal situation?
Honestly, I'm not even a fan of like a night out. I would rather have like a night in, like a games night at a friend's house or something, like with a few drinks, pizza, like some chicken wings, and just like playing card games, like Cards Against Humanity, like silly games like that. I'm even as a teenager, I was never one for like really going out like partying. I went along to be sociable when I was younger because I felt like it was a thing that was expected of people. But I've never loved it. I would rather stay in. So are you watching
your watch saying is it home time yet?
Honestly, I'm that person. I'll be in the middle of a club, like, right, can we go now? Can we call a taxi? Like, are we done here? Have we completed the night out?
Can we go to McDonald's?
Can we go to Mackey's, Subway, like anywhere?
Love that.
So yeah, I'd like a night in over a night out.
We got a comment here. Emmy lies. She went clubbing the other day on stream.
Yeah,
it was
club.
So it was like, well, I went clubbing in more than one way. So the first way was my weapon. I was holding my chicken drumstick, which I also called my club. So I was clubbing in that way. And it was also, I think it was last Monday, I think, when it was really, really hot in the UK still. And I had like this crop, like butterfly top on, and it looked like I was going clubbing. So I was going clubbing like more than one sense, like with my weapon and with my outfit.
I gotcha. Nice one. Player, well played. I like that. Well done there.
Oh, is it player? Hi, player.
It was player. Love that. So, Finn, can you ask Cameron's question from chat? Do you mind?
Yeah. Cameron, the legend, also known as Wayne, he asked, what music does you like?
Ooh, my music taste is all over the damn place. Like my favorite artist is Lana Del Rey. She's so depressing, but for some reason she makes me happy. So I love Lana Del Rey. I love The Weeknd as well.
That's Hijo de Luna, right?
What's that? Sorry?
That's from the song Hijo de Luna, right?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
So. I don't know. I
think so.
But yeah, Lana's like my number one. The Weeknd is like my second favorite artist. And like I find them quite similar. Like the music is very different, but the topic is the same. It's like all about like depressing, like toxic love. So I really like those. I also listen to like a lot of hip hop. Like I love Kendrick Lamar. I love like old school, like 90s hip hop, like Dre, Snoop, like Biggie. I also love like old school rock and roll, like Elvis and Chuck Berry. I love like 80s and 90s metal, like Guns N' Roses, Metallica. My music tastes all over the place. And I love like cheesy pop, like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, like Spice Girls.
Spice Girls, yeah.
It's all over the place. Like my driving playlist consists of like everything pretty much in my playlist on shuffle. And if someone's in the car with me, like, well, where did this like vibe come from? We're on Elvis 1 second. Now we're on like Tupac.
Yeah, love that. That's like my playlist. So it's basically anything that catches your ears, basically. Anything that
literally,
you like. Yeah, I love that. No, that's good.
I feel like I like the best of each genre, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Mainstream stuff. That's the only way to use it. That's really good. I think we've lost Vin again. We've lost him.
No, I'm still here.
Any questions you want to ask regarding the music scene?
Oh no, she covered it pretty nicely.
Covered it really well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
I think we're telling the theme here though about Spice Girls. So were they obviously your first love? Let's be honest.
I think they were my first cassette. I think my first cassette was Spice Girls, or it might have been Britney Spears. No, I think it was Spice Girls, and they were the first group or band that I saw in concert as well. So yeah, I like the Spice Girls.
Is there anybody in chat who needs explanation on what a cassette is or not?
I think there may be a few that may not know what a cassette is. We do. There may be a few that don't. It was before CDs, guys.
It was before compact discs.
Yeah, but they don't even know what CDs is anymore.
Oh, so okay. It was before MP3s.
Yes.
Yeah, before your
Well
iPods.
Well done, Fleety.
But yeah, so obviously, so Spice Girls was your start of your music stuff, and then it's anything that catches your ear. So, how have you found regards to the streaming and music? You don't play the two. Is there any temptation at all? I know with the copyright strikes and it's a bit dodgy and stuff, but has there been any temptation?
I mean, on my starting screen for my stream, I'll have copyright free music of different versions of songs. So I'll play those. Then in my actual sort of little just chatting section at the start of my streams, I do have some music on just in the background, just quietly in the background, just so I'm not talking with silence behind me, if that makes sense. But then for that I just shuffle my driving playlist again. It's anything and everything just plays then, but it's only for about 10-15 minutes or so at the start, so it's not people don't get much of a taste of it. But if they sat in my car with me, they'll be like, what is this girl's music taste?
I love that. Or they're sitting down the traffic light sitting next to you, you're singing your heart out. Would you say you're a karaoke person? Do you belt
I am. I'm a karaoke person, but I can't sing. So I'm a karaoke person, but I bet people wish that I wasn't a karaoke person because I can't sing. People on stream in my chat, they say to me to sing something, and I refuse because I just feel it's going to put people off so badly. They won't come back. So I avoid singing on stream.
Am I hearing a SingStar stream coming up?
SingStar?
No.
Oh, that's brilliant.
No, I love the karaoke, but yeah.
Not a stream.
I'm not talented at singing.
Love that. I bet there's sometimes you're sitting there thinking, please don't start singing. You hear a song, you're like, please don't stop singing, I'm streaming. Please don't stop singing.
Somebody came into chat. It was one of my lovely viewers, Saber, came into chat the other day, and he asked me because he's quite a bit younger, bless him, and he asked me, have you ever heard of Avril Lavigne? And I was like, have I ever heard of Avril Lavigne? And I started just singing Skater Boy, and I was like, oh no, I'm singing.
I love that.
Look into my eyes, can't you see the open wide? Would I lie to you, baby? Would I lie?
No shame.
Oh, I don't have no shame.
Oh,
but that's Fleety's song.
That is my song. That is my jam. So obviously we know about your nights out, your music choices, your pizza loving, your Mackies, your movies, your TV series. We have covered so much here. We have honestly covered so much here. I'll get your fashion stuff as well.
Fashion, sorry, that's the word.
We have genuinely, and literally, I'm looking at the time. It's just been over an hour, and literally, we have covered so much already.
We've gone here, there, and everywhere.
I know, absolutely. I'm just imploring chat. If there's anything that we may have missed, please feel free to ask the questions, and we will get it to Emmy. Guys, don't be shy. If there's anything you want to know, please ask the questions. I'm actually asking for an SOS here. Come and help me out as well, because we're running out of questions because Emmy's just flying through these.
Quick.
You are flying through them.
Yeah, and Pinky left. She usually fills up a 3/4 of the show talking, so
or laughing. I think we spend about 20 minutes with Pinky laughing. That's the truth of it. So I want to go on to supporters in your life. You can say supporters in streaming. You can say supporters in real life. So this can be touchy, so please answer as much as you like.
Yeah, of course.
So the general question I want to ask is, who would you say in different aspects is your number one influence or your number one supporter?
I would say my mom. My mom is just an absolute gem. No matter what I do in life, and I'll be completely honest, I've been somebody who has started jobs and I've left them a week later. If I feel something is not for me, I don't stick around. I'll just get the hell out and do something else. And she has stuck by me whilst I've done that numerous times. I worked for example, at Topshop in Oxford Street for a bit, the massive Oxford Street Topshop before they went bust. I worked there for a bit, and I think I was there for like a month, and I was like, not for me. Then I worked somewhere else for like a month, like, oh, not for me. I just duck and dive until I find something that is for me. And despite that, she'll be like, yeah, you do you, like you do what's best for you. And she's not, I think some parents would be a bit like, you have to stick at something, you have to do this thing, like it's part of life. But she's not really like that. She'll just she'll vibe with whatever I'm doing and just support me with it. So I'm really lucky with that. So yeah, I would say my mum. My mum is my biggest supporter.
Is it safe to say that this is where you get your patience from?
No, my mum is not patient. She's also an Aries, and we're both like in regular life not patient. I think for some reason I found like a real niche for myself with like Souls games and boss fights and patience, but in like genuine life, like general life, I'm not patient.
So we are gonna lean towards stubbornness here. Then that's where we're gonna lean towards.
Yeah,
guys.
I think it's stubbornness. I think it really is.
So Aries is like the star sign, right?
Aries. Yeah. Okay. I use my star sign as an excuse for a lot of things. Like, oh, it's an Aries thing. Don't worry about it. It's what the stars said.
I did this because the stars told me.
Because the stars.
I love it. Would you say you're actually into that? Are you into that though?
No, I'm not even into it that much. I just like to use it as an excuse. Like I tried to get into it at one point, and then I'm just like, I don't actually fully believe that like a star sign is the reason you are the way you are. I just think if you look hard enough at certain traits, you'll find yourself on like any of them, if that makes sense. But I just think it's funny just to use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
I love that. So I'm going to actually ask you your biggest supporter in streaming as well, because obviously you have got some really key guys that have been there. Every time I pop there, they're always supporting you. Is there anybody that you particularly want to shout? I know that you may upset some people because you may miss them, and that's not the intent here. But there's got to be some people that you really want to shout out and thank.
I would say like I'm really lucky in the sense that I still have a good few people in my chat with their little founder badges next to my name. Like I think I'm really lucky to still have those people hanging around. My first biggest supporter was one of my lovely mods who unfortunately can't be around as much anymore. His life has changed a little bit. He's got a new job. He does different working hours. He's based in America, so the time difference is a bit rough. But
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, his name is My Name is Fox, and he came into my very first stream. He's a massive Fallout fan, and I was streaming Fallout 4. He happened to pop in, and he was helping me with technical difficulties because my first stream was broken as hell, and it was sort of juttering, and he came in and helped me with sort of technical difficulties, and he stuck around since then. He was my first subscriber. He was my first moderator. So I think Fox is like my biggest supporter. He can't be around as much now for like personal reasons, which I totally get. But I've got some other founders still in chat, like Flamenco. He's always there. One of my lovely viewers, Bruce, who's still a founder, he's always there. There are people that have just been there since very, very early on who still show up as much as they can. So I really appreciate that.
Love that. Absolutely love that. That's brilliant. So guys, obviously you've been shouted out, so you are appreciated, and Emmy has called you out.
I mean, there's loads of people who are there every stream, but I think those are the people that were there from pretty much like day one.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm sure everybody that's there understands that. Obviously, you can't.
We've
got a whole hour away, so we just call out a load of people. It's they understand.
I'll get a
list. So, a really good question from Wayne again to Cameron. He's asked the question: "Is what country would you most like to visit and why?"
Ooh, do you know, I've visited it before, but I'm going to use it for this example. I'd love to go to America again. Like, I just love America. I feel like everything there is like so like big and just like extreme and like exaggerated versions of how things are elsewhere. I've been to Florida a couple of times, and I've been to New York a couple of times, but I'd love to do like California. I'd love to sort of go from LA and like drive up to Vegas, like hire like an old Mustang or something and do like a road trip. I just love America. I would happily
get out of my head, Emmy. Get out of my head.
I would happily live in America if I got the opportunity to move to America. Like, I know obviously the grass isn't always greener. I know that, but I don't know. I just think I'd settle in quite nicely there. I just like my time there.
Well, I don't know about your grass, but in Holland after the heat wave, the grass is yellow here. So.
Yeah, we have the same. The grass here is like brown.
So did you go to America for work or for vacation?
No, so I went to Florida when I was a kid for like the Disneyland experience, like with my parents, and then I went to New York twice. Once for my 18th birthday and once for my 21st. And I just love New York so much. Like, there's so much to do there. It's like it's impossible to be bored there. If you want something to do, just go on Google and look for things happening like a few feet down the road and you will find something. And I just I really like that. And I just find Americans, like, I know people may not agree, but I find Americans so friendly. Whenever I've been to America, I've had nothing but like friendliness. And I think to Brits, it's almost like overly friendly at times, but I really like that. And like, you just feel very welcome.
Yeah, I agree. Do agree. I love every time I've been out there. It's amazing.
So I would love to spend more time there, but I think during obviously COVID and whatnot, like traveling wasn't really a thing. And I think for a lot of people, even since it has been a thing again, they've not really picked it back up, like myself included. I've not really done much traveling. So I would love to go back there at some point.
Are there any other destinations you want to visit though?
I'd love to go to New Zealand. I think New Zealand looks gorgeous. I've done Australia, but I've not done New Zealand. And I just think it looks gorgeous. And I'm not even like a massive fan of Lord of the Rings, but I'd love to go on like a tour where you get to see some of like the filming locations. I would love to do that. I'd love to go to Italy. I've never actually been to Italy. I've done most of Europe, but I've not done Italy. I was meant to go there actually during, I think it's March 2020, right before the pandemic kicked off. And obviously then it happened, so I didn't go. I'd love to go to Italy. I'd love to do a bit more of Europe. Japan as well. I'd love to go to Tokyo. Never been to Japan.
So ironic, me and Wayne, who asked this question, are planning that next year. Japan.
Oh, you actually? Oh, I'm so jealous.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
crossed. Oh, I'm so jealous.
They have unfortunately, if you're a tourist, you can only go there with chaperones, so you have to be escorted everywhere.
Really?
And so we're a bit hesitant at the moment because obviously you don't want to pay that much money to get there and be escorted around.
No.
You kind of want to have the freedom to go as and when you want. So at the moment, we're just going to save our money, then we'll make a review of it at the beginning of the year. It's definitely
why is it on escort? Is that because of the
COVID reasons? Just to make sure.
COVID. It's just since COVID. It wasn't a thing before that. But
it's just making sure you're wearing your mask, and they can only enforce that if someone's with you. So if I don't want to pay this much money to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I have to be at a tour site.
I wouldn't do well with that. It's the authority thing again. If someone was telling me like what to do and when, I'm like, nah, it's not happening.
But definitely highly recommend Rome. I have been there as well. Amazing. You have to add it to your bucket list. Honestly,
I wanted to do Florence as well. Florence looks so pretty. That was where I was meant to be going in 2020, and obviously it didn't happen. So
yeah, definitely add that to your list.
For sure.
Florence is the most beautiful city I ever visited.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll rearrange it at some point. I think since COVID, I've got really like lazy with making plans. I think I've got almost like a bit too like happy just like being at home. I need to sort of get a bit more out there and make plans again to do things.
But especially the food there it's so good, man.
Yeah, I would be going for the food.
And you can just go to a restaurant, and you know it's cheap, but still so good. You know, and everything is locally. You know, the products are local. Oh man, it's Bella Italia.
I will go at some point. I have to rearrange it. Maybe this will give me the push that I needed to actually like get it rebooked.
If you want to go to big city, or go to Rome. There's lots of places to visit there. But if you want just a quiet, enjoyable, go to Florence. You know.
Yeah, I think Florence would be where I'd go first in Italy, and then do the bigger cities.
Yeah.
Love that. So we have mentioned that horrible word, which is COVID. So we do normally talk about mental health.
Yeah.
So I will apologise if you have mentioned this at all on stream. I may not have heard it at all. So have you, since you've been obviously the full-time stream especially, have you had any problems mentally, or is there anything that you've needed to take breaks from, or?
I mean, I think I had one moment like during streaming where I started to get like that burnout feeling. It didn't go full burnout, but I could kind of feel it. It was right in the middle of my Sekiro streams. And it wasn't because of Sekiro, I swear. I was enjoying Sekiro. But I think at that time, like work was especially busy. And then I think I was pushing myself to stream because I didn't want to just let people down and not stream, because I see it as like a part-time job. So I make sure I show up on time and things like that. But I just, for some reason, at some point, I just felt really like less enthusiastic about it. And it was a real push to get myself ready and to hit that go live button. And at that time, I had a few things planned. I think that week coming up, I had like booked off work and I had some things planned, and I had to rearrange some streams anyway. But in the end, I decided to take a full week off from streaming, which was the longest I'd ever taken off since I started. And it did me the world of good. I could just sort of step back just for a week and get things into perspective. And then it helped me also realize that I missed it. Like when I wasn't streaming, I really, really missed it. And then that kind of gave me the push to get back into it. So I think sometimes when you feel that way, it's good to take a step back and like reevaluate things and just have a breather.
Yeah, I did it. I did at the moment. I took 5 weeks off now from Twitch.
Really?
Yeah. We had the heat wave here. My kids had vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And I really was in the mood for gaming, so I just decided, the entire kids vacation I won't stream. So
yeah, during the heat, I have to say, streaming during the heat when we had like the 40-degree weather, I streamed on the particular Monday when it was like 41 degrees where I was, and I was okay at the start of the stream, but by the end, I just felt like I was melting. I felt absolutely exhausted. My room was like a sauna, and I was like, "Oh my god, why did I do this?"
Do you have AC or not?
No.
Oh no, yeah,
no air
me
conditioning.
neither.
I've got a fan next to me, and like obviously it's all right, it does the job. But when it was that hot, it was just blowing hot air at me.
Exactly. That's
the problem with fans, right? Had nothing to work with. So yeah, that was on one particular occasion. I just felt like I was melting.
Yeah.
So the question I want to ask is, how was your community when you said, obviously, I need to take a week off? What
they were really accepting. I mean, when it happened, obviously I had things planned anyway. I went to London for a trip and things like that, and I went back to where I'm originally from in Essex to see some friends there. So I just sort of said to everyone, I'm taking a week off. I've got things planned here and there. I don't want to move streams around too much and be streaming on days I wouldn't normally stream on and things like that. So but no, everyone was really accepting. Like I made a joke, I think, at the end of my last stream before that week off, like, please don't like forget about me, I will be back, I promise. And everyone was like, no, we won't do that. And my stream after that week off, it was such a good stream. I had sort of everyone returned, all my lovely viewers came back, and that was a relief knowing that I can take like a week or so off, and people will come back. They won't just forget about me and find like other streamers to hang out with in that time.
So in all your 1 year streaming, is that the only week you took off?
Yeah,
oh, really?
Only week. Yeah, even if I have time off from like my actual job, typically I'll still stream.
Wow.
Yeah, I just enjoy streaming. So even though it is like a part-time job to me, I don't see it as a job. I just enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So the only time that I don't stream is if I'm actually like away somewhere. If I'm physically not going to be at home and I'm not at my PC, that's when I won't stream. Like even when I had COVID, I caught COVID at the start of the year. I was still streaming then.
Trooper, absolute trooper.
I was still streaming. I didn't feel too bad. I got off quite lightly with it compared to some people. So I was like, well, I feel all right. I'm only going to be sitting here bored otherwise. So
yeah.
Vin, I'll let you ask Dazzy's question.
Yeah. No, your neighbor, UK Desirous, is asking, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done in front of someone?
Ooh, in front of someone? God. It's probably just me falling over. I'm quite a clumsy person. I'm quite a clumsy person. Like even though obviously on stream you only see like the top half of the stream, but I'm quite tall, and I compare myself to like Bambi. I just trip over my legs all the time. So it's probably falling over. I used to fall. Well, I mean, as I've got older, I've got a bit more like graceful as on my feet, I think. But when I was younger, growing up, I was so like ungraceful. I just trip over all the damn time. I remember one particular occasion I was going to school and it was an icy day and there was a slope that we had to walk up and I slipped on this slope, which is bad enough, like in front of all these kids from like the older years, I think from like the year 10s and the 11s, and I was like year 8 at the time. So that was really mortifying. I fell over in front of them all and everyone was like, oh, where she fell, like just making a joke about it. And then I got up and took another step and I did the same thing. Exactly the same thing. And I was just like, oh my God. And I just got up and my knee was like twice this. I fell on the same knee twice and it was like twice the size. Ouch. It was like so swollen after. But yeah, that's probably the most embarrassing, just falling over in front of people.
A bit ditzy, is that fair to say? It's
I just trip over my feet.
Love that. Love that. There you go, Dazzy. I think you were hoping for something worse, Dazzy. But
yeah,
no.
Honestly, I just, I'm sure there is something like more embarrassing that I've done other than tripping, but I just can't recall like off the top of my head. It'll be late at night this evening, but like midnight, I'll be lying in bed, like recalling embarrassing moments and just be like mortifying myself.
Love that. Love that. Vin, have you got a question you'd like to ask Emmy?
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment? Oh my God. Vin is actually speechless. There you go, Emmy. You're the first person.
First time it's ever happened.
Look, I'm actually crying because of the sneezing. Look.
Oh, bless him.
Oh man, it's terrible. And I have to work tomorrow, so it's gonna be shit. But maybe they sent me home. They think I have COVID, so I hope so.
Maybe.
Look, man, it's look at my eyes.
Is it allergies?
No. I had a party last night. I was outside and I was like, in a t-shirt. I'm okay. And then it got really late, and then
you've got to chill.
Yeah, I had a bit of too much of this.
Yeah.
So I woke up like my eyes were all watery already, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is gonna be one of those days.
No.
Oh, I love it.
So it was self-inflicted. It wasn't it's not like allergies or anything.
No, it's just me stupid. That's it.
That's fair enough. Yeah. That's fair enough.
So I want to ask you some more on your gaming life, as it were. Mm-hmm. So you've already mentioned obviously you had your PS1.
Yeah, I had a nipple freeze there. See, look.
You've had your PC. Any other consoles that you've had historically?
So at the moment, I have a Nintendo Switch that is just for when I feel like becoming addicted to Animal Crossing again, because that was a thing like during the pandemic that came out at the perfect time, and I was just obsessed with Animal Crossing. Like every day I would play it for like 5 hours a day. It was quite bad.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was obsessed. So I've got my Nintendo Switch, and for Pokemon as well. I sometimes play Pokemon on there. Generally speaking, like growing up, I was a PlayStation girl. I had one Xbox, and I think that was an Xbox 360. And I don't know why I went with that Xbox. I didn't even really love it that much. I regretted it and went back to PlayStation eventually. But I'm more of a PlayStation girl for sure. I've had like the various Nintendo consoles growing up as well. Like I had Nintendo Wii. I had like the DS, the 3DS. I had a Nintendo 64 as well, obviously way back in the day. I had like the limited edition Pokemon one where the Pokeballs were the like on and off button.
Oh wow!
I had that one.
Yeah, the blue yellow, right?
That was the one. It came with I think Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Stadium. So yeah, I had that back in the day as well.
My sister had it as well.
Yeah, mostly Nintendo and PlayStation growing up.
Okay. Because you've not mentioned very many Nintendo games, which is surprising because in my experience, especially doing these podcasts, if people wouldn't mention Nintendo, that's it. Nintendo games, this is it.
See,
I've been very solely.
I've always had a Nintendo, but they've never been like they weren't really like my childhood game. Like my childhood games were on PlayStation, like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I had Nintendos with like Mario, like Mario Kart, Mario World, like
Mario
Luigi,
Tennis, Mario Golf.
Yeah, like Donkey Kong. I had all those, but for some reason, the ones that like resonated with me as a kid were the PlayStation ones, like Spyro. I don't know why. But yeah, I do have like on my Nintendo Switch, I have Mario Kart, like the classic Mario games. But yeah, for whatever reason, the PlayStation games when I was a kid just sort of stuck with me more.
Was it because there was people that you played them with?
I think that's what it was. I think most of my friends had PlayStations as well, so I could kind of like relate to them. Not many people that I knew at the time had a Nintendo. Most people just like PlayStation or Xbox growing up. So yeah, I guess I could relate to people more with that. And yeah, I mean, it's sort of I'm an only child, so I never had any brothers or sisters to like play games with. So my mum used to sit with me as a kid, like when I was playing my PlayStation, and like sort of help me with games so I couldn't figure things out. So for some reason, she preferred the PlayStation games as well. So yeah, I think it's just because that's what I played with her as well.
Okay, nice. I like that. It's nice to hear that your mum actually sat down and played games with you as well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like as a kid, I remember playing, I think there was a Casper video game on PlayStation 1. And there was a very, very specific cheat code that you could do to let yourself like fly over walls and not have to get keys to unlock doors. And as a kid, like my hands were too small to press all of the buttons that I needed to at once. So I would do like one half the controller, she would do the other half, and collectively we get the cheat sorted.
Oh, bless you. Super mum, love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that. That is awesome. So yeah, so obviously, is there anything that like in terms of, because you're streaming on at the moment, they're very solo based at the moment, obviously, because you're Dark Souls and stuff, right? Is there a branch out that you may look to maybe community streams? Because you've got massive community there to play with.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to do like maybe like community like Fall Guys. I think that would be really fun.
Oh yeah,
I love Fall Guys. It's such a fun. It's like a silly game, but it's so much fun. So I'd love to do like community Fall Guys. But I'm like generally speaking, like even growing up, and I think maybe it stems from like being an only child. I don't know. But growing up, I only really played like single or like solo player games. I had like some multiplayer games, like I had like Call of Duty back in the day, but I never really enjoyed the online mode as much as like the single player campaigns. And I think it's because like I'm an only child. I think I was just used to like doing things by myself kind of thing. I mean, not like I wasn't a complete loner, I swear. But I think I was used to I think I was just used to those kind of things. So even now I prefer single player games over like multiplayers.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, so I think mostly
it's amazing how things from your childhood stem into your
I think that's what it is. I think I just never learned how to share.
Yeah, but for sure, you know, they become a bit of a multiplayer game when you stream it, right? I mean, the way you stream your solo games and interact with the community, it's becoming a multiplayer game.
Yeah, no, that's it. I mean, I'm playing like a single player game, but I don't feel like I'm playing it by myself. I have like loads of people to chat to and interact with. So it makes a single player game feel more interactive, I guess.
Yeah.
I see that with the Resident Evil streams you did. That there's a lot of people helping you,
exactly.
run that way.
Like, if I'm stuck, they'll be like, go to this place, do this. And I'm like, right, thank you so much. Like if I was playing that by myself, I'd be there for hours trying to figure it out.
That's the question that I actually genuinely want to ask you, because early in my career, backseating was a bit difficult. Is a lot of people would literally go complete spoiler in, but your community seems to just has the perfect balance for you.
Yeah, I've got really lucky. So when I first started streaming,
you're jealous, Fitty.
I am.
Even though I've gamed my whole life, but I still didn't see myself as like a particularly good gamer. So when I first started streaming, I had like the tag backseating allowed in my streams. And especially for like my Skyrim streams, because that was like a first playthrough for me. I had no idea like really what I was doing. So I had that tag turned on. But people have just been like really respectful. They'd come in and be like, right, I can tell you how to do this, but I don't want to spoil it. Are you happy with me saying this? Amazing. But then as my streams have gone on, I have removed that tag just because not on many occasions, but a few occasions, some people would like overstep that a little bit and go into like spoiler territory, which I'm not wanting. So I've removed that tag, and now I tend to say, like, for example, with my Elden Ring stream, I've played Elden Ring through like 3 times now, and I'm now doing like a no leveling run. So I say to people, if you have hints and tips to help me like at level 1 to get through this game, that's more than welcome. But what I do ask is to not tell me how to do like a boss battle, because it really, I think it winds me up a bit. People come in like, oh, use a shield, dodge, like use block, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm trying. I swear.
Please don't confuse my knowledge with my skill.
Yeah, exactly. So no, most people are very, very respectful, and I think if I ask for help with the game, they'll kindly give me that help and put me out of my misery, so I'm not stuck there for hours.
Yeah, I have noticed that. I mean, they're very, very good, your community, and I just seen you had the perfect. I'm being honest, it is jealousy. I'm not gonna lie. The community is amazing at that, and they've got the perfect balance for you, and it seems to work really well. I think it's also the way you maybe come across. You're very respectful, but you also, when you want to turn something down, you do it respectfully but forcefully.
Oh yeah, I try to be like firm but in a polite way.
Yeah,
I don't want to just be like completely rude, because sometimes people will come in and they might overstep that backseating boundary, but it's their first time there, so they're not to know that. So if I then say to them, okay, enough backseating on this, if we can just like chill a bit, if they chill, then absolutely fine. But if they then still keep going, they're like, okay, you've been a bit rude now, so you get a timeout.
Love that. So, honest question: how many timeouts have you had to do?
Honestly, very few. I mean, luckily I have lovely moderators who are on it sort of 99% of the time for me, especially during like boss battles, and I'm so engrossed I can't possibly like take my hands off the controller for long enough to do something in chat. So but very, very few. I think maybe I'm gonna say less than 10. I would honestly say less than 10.
That is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
I think I've got lucky. I've not had many like rude people coming in or like people overstepping that boundary or anything like that. So it's not been necessary.
And 5 of them have been Vin.
You hear that, Flitty?
Yeah, 5 of them have been Vin. There's been timed out as well. Don't worry.
They've got Vind.
They've got Vins, yes. Oh, I love that. I just want to talk about obviously your community, because obviously I don't know if you get a chance to thank them enough, because obviously you got your Discord, you speak to them on a regular basis. Your Discord's very active. But I just think this is an opportunity for you to obviously let them know how much you really appreciate them. That's obviously why I keep mentioning it for you. But I just think it's just so amazing, especially for your growth. And I think just to see how you've done is just literally it is inspirational, to be honest.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I know I say I've got really lucky, and I know it doesn't all come down to luck, but I think with streaming, I think a certain amount of it does come down to luck. And I'll be brutally honest, I really do think it depends, like, what viewers you get in your channel. Are they going to stick around for each and every game, or are they just there for one game? And in regards to, even, like, again, I'll be open and honest, in regards to, like, gifted subs and bits, again, that's luck. If you get a viewer who comes in who's willing to be generous in that way, then that, again, that's just luck. You've had that person come into your chat at the right time. And I always say to my viewers, that's never expected. Just being there is support enough, because you're helping boost my numbers. So just being there is support enough. So I think, and when it comes to raids as well, you can be lucky in the sense that you'll get a raid from a big streamer, and that will really, really help you out. I've had that happen the last 3 months or so. I've had raids from other partner streamers, and that's helped massively because that's like introduced their community to my community, and I now see people from their community coming back to my streams. So it's helped a lot. It's helped so much. So I think a lot of it is down to being obviously frequent, like with your schedule, and sticking to your schedule, and being sort of streaming regularly and keeping up with when you say you're going to be there. But then it is a certain amount of luck. It depends on who comes in your stream at that time, and some people just get lucky.
No, love the honesty on it. Vin, is there any questions you want to ask Emmy? You've had time to think. You haven't got to look at him. Is there anything at the top of your head that you want to ask? Normally you don't have a filter. I'm very surprised you haven't actually asked anything controversial that Emmy's ever said I can't answer.
Well, I promised I wouldn't do that today, so.
He's actually behaving himself.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised.
That's why I'm kind of stuck and out of questions constantly, because I'm not allowed to be a pervert.
You got a filter on.
He's not allowed to be a pervert. At least he's honest about it. Oh God. Oh wow!
And I'm crying too much, so I'm sorry. This just isn't my day today. So.
This isn't your day. No. You can't be a pervert and he's struggling with illness. Bless
and
you.
he's crying. Yeah.
I'm crying.
Hey, you're so beautiful, Emmy. I'm sorry. I have to cry.
Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. I'm embarrassed there. There you go. He's got it done. He's got it done.
Yeah. Despite crying.
Yeah. See? Sorry.
It's all good, mate.
Now, please go on, Fleety.
So obviously on the community streams like Fall Guys, is there anything that you may look at doing as an ad hoc stream? Because I know you're very good with your schedule. I know you're busy and you're worried about burnout, but is there anything that you may think, guys, should we do a community night on this random, let's say, top of my head, Saturday night? Should we do this Saturday night? Should we have a community night?
I mean, for sure. I would love to organize something like that. I just, at the moment, I feel like I can't really commit to more than what I'm doing, like, at this time. I mean, don't get me wrong. If in future I can do streaming as like a full-time or even just like an official part-time job, then I could sort of squeeze more things in. But at the moment, I feel like I stream 4 nights a week. I work 5 days a week. At the moment, I have 1 day off where I don't work or stream a week.
Yeah.
So I've got that 1 day, and that's the day that I try and sort of socialize with people, like see my friends, like hang out with people, just so I don't sort of go stir crazy at home, like sitting in my room all day, because I work from home as well. So So I work from the same position that I'm sat in for streaming. So I feel like it's good to try and get out the house occasionally.
Yeah.
So just so I don't go absolutely crazy.
So you're in the same. You're constantly in the same chair then.
Yeah, this is where I work.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and my lovely colleagues, they often ask me like, "Oh, you've changed your chair again?" Because I changed my chair recently. Like, "Oh, you've got a new chair." I'm like, "Oh, yes, for my streams."
This is an Elden Ring chair, right?
Yeah, it's an Elden Ring chair. It is, yeah. Yeah, I was sent this, so I was really lucky. I was sent this for free.
Oh, really?
I love that.
Yeah, that's by Noble Chairs.
It.
One of my viewers is he works for Noble Chairs, and he got in contact and said that we'd like to send you this chair. Obviously, provided it's obviously on show and on your stream and whatnot, and you have some social media posts, and So
wow.
And I was playing Elden Ring at the time, and I was like, well, this is perfect. And also at the time I had my old chair, it was bright pink. And I was I was over the pink a little bit. So at the time I had like a massive fur throw over it, which was all well and good for winter, but it was starting to heat up a bit as spring was coming in. And I was sat here streaming with this massive fur throw in my chair, absolutely melting. So it was the perfect timing. It was the perfect timing for it.
I love that. That's awesome. So you have mentioned off stream that you are in the process of changing your room, which is why you got the Elden Ring background. So I have to ask, what's the plan with the bedroom? What's going on there?
I'm just redecorating. So, and the wall behind me at the moment, I've got like wallpaper, and that's being torn off just to be painted instead. I'm just over the wallpaper, and there's been some of the doors in the house replaced as well. So at this moment in time, I don't have a door to my room.
No.
At the moment, I just have like a bit of fabric just to kind of block out the light from like the hallway, like sort of during the day when I'm streaming. So yeah, that's what's being done at the moment. So it's just a redecoration, nothing too fancy, just
are you doing it yourself, or you got people helping you?
No, I'm doing it. Oh,
good one. There we go.
Yeah.
DIY.
Yeah. But
how you found it so far? All right.
It's very good. I just do it bit by bit. I'm not in a rush because it's just me here. So I'm just doing it bit by bit.
So how long has it taken you so far?
Only since last weekend.
Okay, all right.
So yeah, I just do what I can during the week. Obviously, like on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I stream after work. So I log off from work at 5 p.m. I dash downstairs and have dinner. Then I dash back upstairs and get ready for stream. So the only nights
no time at all.
Yeah, I have no time. Only on Tuesdays and Thursdays do I have time to actually do anything else. So
that's the question I'm going to ask there. I'm glad you actually set it up for me. So the Tuesdays, obviously you said the Saturdays is social log. So you got your Tuesdays and your Thursdays. Is that your movie time, your TV time, your chill out time?
So Tuesdays and Thursdays, generally like on a normal week, they're just my lazy evenings. I'll log off from work. I'll have dinner and I'll just laze around either watching TV or even just playing a game just by myself, just for my own like entertainment. I just laze around. It's just my chill evenings. Like a while back, I was thinking about joining a gym, just to try and sort of just stay healthy and keep fit. But at the same time, I was like, when would I go? Like, when would I actually go? Because I know I cannot be bothered on my 2 nights a week off. So
it's also like another job, isn't it?
Yeah. So in the end, I didn't join one because I was like, I'm not going to go. I know I'm not going to go. So yeah, I just laze around. It's just like my relaxation evenings, just to do nothing.
Love that. Fair play to you. I think Vin's still having a sneezing fit and still crying.
Oh, bless him.
Somewhere. So the question I want to ask you, this is regularly on your stream, and I'm sorry to raise it again, the tattoos.
Yeah.
I think I probably heard the stories of your tattoos probably about 20 times myself. So I don't know how many times you've actually repeated it. But for those that obviously haven't seen them before, could you give a quick relay for us?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Most of my tattoos have absolutely zero meaning. I just thought they were cool designs. I liked it. I wanted it. So I went for it. Like I've got 2 butterflies on this arm just because I like butterflies and I love like all things 90s. And I feel like butterfly tattoos were like a massive thing in the 90s. So I just kind of wanted to like revive that on myself. I've got Sailor Moon on the back of my arm just because I really like Sailor Moon. So that's the only reason for that one. I've got a barbed wire heart here.
It's anime, right?
Yeah, it's anime. Yeah. Sailor Moon. It's like an old 90s anime. I've got a barbed wire heart here. And again, I just liked it. And it was like kind of a 90s revival again, like the barbed wire tattoos of the 90s. I really like those.
I've got a snake
here. I've got a massive snake here because I've moved my watch.
That's Fleety Snake, right? That's Fleety Snake.
Fleety's on her wrist.
Yeah, this was for Fleety. No, I'm kidding. I just really like snakes. I just think they're really cool creatures. And I like the idea of a snake on my arm. I've got loads on my fingers. If I try and like sort of bring them up, I've got loads on my fingers. Again, don't mean anything. I just thought they were quite cool, so I got those done. I got those are my most recent ones. I got those in March for my birthday this year, so I treated myself to those. I've got the only one that actually means something is I don't know if I can even show it. I've got like a bee on the inside of my finger there, and that's for my dog Boris, who passed away a few years ago. I just want to say, not named after Boris Johnson, not affiliated with Boris Johnson, not named after him whatsoever. He had the name Boris before Boris Johnson was really a thing. So yeah, so that's after my dog Boris. So that's the only one that's like meaningful to me. And I have on my ribs, which obviously you never see, I have I think it's kind of like a Spice Girls reference. I have girl power on my ribs, but spelled GRL and then PWR.
Oh, love that.
I've got that on my ribs.
Spice Girls, huge influence on you.
I know. I've got a rose down my spine. I've got my birth year on my ankle. I've got loads.
Is there any big ones planned? Is there any more?
No,
planned?
at the moment, I have nothing like in mind. I have nothing else that I want to get. Like I don't want to just get a tattoo because I want to get one. Like I want to fill up this space here because I've got a rose here. I forgot about that. But I want to fill up this space here, but I don't know what I want. So I'm not like in a rush. I'm just waiting till something feels right.
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's the first time in a long time that I've had no tattoos booked. Normally I have something booked for like 6 months' time, but at the moment I don't.
No, fair play. I'm the believer of I really like to know what I want, and I have to really have my mindset on it. And
I only have this one.
See, I'm quite bad for that. Like I'm quite impulsive with my tattoos. If I see something like, oh, I really want that, and I'll message my artist if she can get me in like the next week.
How the fuck do I get this from the camera? I like this.
Well, twist your arm on, mate.
That's the only one I have.
Twist that's quite cool.
Oh, is that when you're drunk? You need to go to a Chinese and say what you're going to order, and you just show your arm, and then they say it.
No, you fucking wanker. That's a beloved grandfather. That's for my grandfather who passed away. You wanker. But I have this really tiny arms, you know. So if you do it in Dutch, then my arms would be small. So I did it in Japanese, so it would fit my arm.
I love that. Love that.
I was this really skinny guy, you know. So I had to do something because there isn't much room for tattoos. So.
Love it. Love that.
And
sorry, I think that's doing great, man. I was just making a joke, mate. I'm sorry, mate. All right.
No, I don't care. You know.
What Chinese menu do you want?
I just wanted to call you wanker. So.
Fair play. Oh dear. Okay, so we're gonna approach the end, Emmy. We're gonna come to the end. Vina, can you stay focused for the quick fire questions?
Yeah, I hope I don't have to sneeze.
Oh, we've got quick fire questions. Okay, I'm gonna set up for this.
Questions. We have quick fire questions. So this is normally just to see off the stream.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of fun. So don't think about the questions too much.
Okay.
Don't try and elaborate them. Just whatever comes to your head. All right.
Okay.
Vin, are you ready for this? Because normally I'm sat out of this. I'm just trying to moderate. So are you ready, Vin?
I hope so. I hope I don't have to sneeze. That's the only thing. So.
Set us off then, sir. Go on, mate. Go for it.
Now, the first one we already did. So, tea or coffee?
Tea.
Oh, hot or cold?
Hot. Although I like cold tea as well, but like my preference is hot.
Okay.
Milk in tea?
Yes. 100%.
No.
Yes.
Sweet or savoury?
Savoury.
Chocolate or candy?
Ooh, chocolate.
Okay, all right. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
There we go. Go on, Vin. You can twist it. Nintendo or Xbox was a good one.
Sega or Nintendo?
Ooh.
Nintendo.
No.
Okay. Would you say you're more of a morning bird or a night owl?
Oh God, I'm neither. I hate the mornings, but I'm also not much of a night owl. I say like I'm a midday person.
Midday.
Is that a thing? Is that a thing or not?
Well, it is now.
I don't like late nights. I don't like early mornings. I just like being awake midday.
just being awake. Just put it right. Love that. Love that. Go on, Vin.
Sonic or Mario?
Oh, Sonic.
Yes.
There you go. You brought him back. You brought him back.
Yeah, I love you again.
Okay, I'm back in Vin's good book. Okay. Right.
So now the controversial one: PC or PlayStation?
Ooh.
Sorry, Fleety.
Was that PC or PlayStation?
PC or PlayStation?
I'm gonna go PC.
Oh my goodness. Okay, all right. Vin, you've left me for this one, so I'm going to say, God, I love the controversy. So if you would go Resident Evil,
Summer or Winter,
which you're currently playing,
yeah,
or Demon Souls, which one would you prefer?
Prefer Resident Evil 2.
Okay,
hands down.
You got another one, Vin?
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Okay, you moaned about it being too hot, but she's got summer.
That's what us Brits do. We're never happy with the weather.
Well, it's the same with the Dutch. We want summer.
We're never happy with the weather. It's too hot, it's too cold, it's too rainy, it's too snowy.
It's the same here, but it's always too rainy here. That's the problem. We have 9 months of, how you say it, autumn? I think that's the word, right?
Really?
Yeah, in Holland, yeah. It's 9 months. It's just rain, storm, and shit. And then we have 1 month of winter, 1 month of summer.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
I very nearly moved to the Netherlands about 4 years ago. I very nearly moved there.
Really? Where?
Yeah, for a job. I went for a job interview there for Mercedes, but I didn't go in the end.
Why not?
I went for the interview. I went there. I got to sort of spend a sort of day in the life of what I'd be doing there, kind of thing. And I didn't love what the job was for, kind of thing. And I was so I'm in an iron between just going for the sake of it, but I was like, oh, if I regret it, that's a big move going back. It's a lot of hassle to regret that decision. So in the end, I didn't do it.
Okay.
I was going to be moving to Maastricht if I did.
Oh, Maastricht, yeah.
Yeah.
Limburg.
That's where I would have been. I was very nearly there.
Yeah, that's where a lot of beer comes from in Holland. They have a lot of beer.
Didn't know that. Number one customer.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's a beautiful city. I really enjoyed my time there. It's a really nice place. I'd move there if the job was right, kind of thing.
Yep. The best place is Rotterdam.
See, I've not been there.
Don't go
You
there.
have to come here. You have to come here.
Been there.
Don't go there. Okay, let's go back to the quick fire then. Come
Sorry,
on.
yeah.
Okay.
Rain or snow?
Oh, rain.
Brittany or Christina?
Brittany.
Oh my god. Wow, that was really quick.
Team Brittany. Brittany has been through so much.
Who's your best from earlier as well? Elvis or Chuck Berry?
Elvis.
Beer or cider?
Neither. I don't like beer or cider.
Oh,
what?
Really
No, I don't drink beer or cider. I don't like
what?
it.
Beer, wine, cider?
I'm a spirits girl. I like rum.
Oh, spirit. Yeah. Kraken
yeah,
rum.
I'm more of a rum girl.
All right.
Play,
Which one? Kraken.
Yeah. Oh, Kraken Spice rum is so good.
Captain Morgan's just the way forward, guys.
No, Kraken. I mean, I like Captain Morgan's as well, but Kraken like over Captain Morgan's.
Okay. Water or juice?
Water.
Water. A bowl of water.
A
bowl of water.
Go on, you got any more?
Rock or pop music?
Oh.
Pop.
Oh. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. I think we're there with the quick fire questions.
Phil,
Emmy. Oh, he's got one.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not allowed.
Look what?
I'm not allowed.
It. Emmy, he has to ask this question. He's asked it every
Go
single
for
one.
it. Go for it.
Ask or tits.
Ask.
There we go. Good sport. Well done. Oh dear. Emmy, absolute been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's been so much fun. The last 2 hours have flown by. I just looked at the time and I was like, how are we 2 hours in?
It goes so quick. It goes so quick. It always does. So, Emmy, this is the point for you, for us. Let the chat know where to find you. Obviously, I'm going to post again your socials on there. So, but let everybody know where to find you, what your schedule is, what you're looking to play and stuff, and what you're going to be looking to in the future and stuff. Just give them a reminder if you could.
So you can find me on Twitch under EmmyVogue, which is right here. This is how you spell it. Under EmmyVogue, and I stream 4 nights a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. My weekday streams at 7 p.m. UK time, Sunday streams at 2 p.m. On my weekday streams at the moment, I'm streaming Elden Ring. I'm doing an absolutely insane no leveling run. So if you want to see me suffer, then yeah, feel free to come and join those. On my Sunday streams, I'm going through the Resident Evil games on hardcore. I've done all my first playthroughs now, so I'm doing those on hardcore. At the moment, I'll be doing Resident Evil 3 as of next Sunday, and then Biohazard and Village. And you can find me on Instagram under EmmyVogue XO. Somebody already stole EmmyVogue, so I had to put the XO at the end. Twitter is EmmyVogue. Most of my socials are EmmyVogue apart from those two. I've also got a Discord. The link to that is in my channel if you wanted to join that. But yeah, if you want to come check out some suffering, then yeah, feel free to drop by my streams because there's plenty of that.
So, Emmy, from us and everybody, obviously from the podcast team, I know Pinky's not here, she had to go, but I know she said this already because we spoke about it. We wish you all the best in getting that partnership.
Yeah.
You have done absolutely incredible. I know I've said it about 4 or 5 times in this podcast so far, but honestly, you've done really, really well.
Thank you very much.
To others, and I hope you get it because I think you deserve it. So thank you again.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for being like as a part of my stream for so long. I know I discovered Fleety when I was looking for Resident Evil streams before I started streaming them myself. That's how I found Fleety. And yeah, we've kind of just been there in each other's chats ever since.
Yeah, that's it. And then you had to put up with Vin and stuff, but that's all about networking. That's the way it works.
There too.
That's the game.
I followed you because you were in Fleety's stream. And then Fleety did a shout out for you. And then I started following you.
Fleety finally gave me a shout out. And I think Vin joined. I think Cameron joined. I know Pinky joined from that. Yeah, I think I got quite a few of my regular people sort of through Fleety. So I really appreciate that.
That's amazing. But yes, Emmy, thank you so much. And Vin, thank you for being here. And Pinky, I know you have to disappear. Thank you for turning up for 10 minutes.
I'm sorry I was shit today. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't worry, mate. You're not well. Don't worry. I'm sure you can make up to Emmy.
I hope you feel better soon.
I will. You know, just a couple of more of these,
That
and
will
I'll
help.
sleep.
That's definitely going to help.
If I'm lucky, my boss sends me home tomorrow. You know, you may have COVID. Please go home. And then
what if he's watching this and he knows the real reason?
Good point. Good point.
Well, he is 62, so I don't think he watches Twitch. But
You'll be surprised.
You never know.
That's true.
The guy's going to say goodbye now. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. Any questions, please send Emmy a DM and ask her any questions that we may have missed. I'm sure she'll get back to you. But do check her out. So everybody, take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.